Hey everyone, it's technology expert Burton Kelso with Integral. And today I'm talking about 6 kick booty tips to help any real estate professional dominate social media during this whole COVID-19 crisis. I mean, obviously, unless you've been living in a cave in a mountain somewhere, you're aware that COVID-19 is a big problem. But it also can be somewhat of a great blessing too, not from people dying, but the simple fact that since we all are having to practice social distancing, that we can stay indoors and we can connect with more people because obviously everyone is surrounded by their computer, whether they're working at home or if they're just furloughed from work and just getting on social media or just streaming video, they're in front of their computer. So what better way for you to go out and reach and touch people than to get on social media and to start to develop relationships? Because truth be told, when it comes to social media, it's all about relationships. That's what it's all about. It's not about the selling of your product or showing what homes you have in your inventory or even bragging about that you're the best real estate agent or real estate professional out there. It's all about creating those relationships. And this day and age of real estate, it's important because the average transaction that you're going to have with your buyer and seller is only going to occur every 7 or 8 years. People are buying homes less and less, so there's less chance that you're going to be able to make those touches with your potential buyers and sellers or with old buyers and sellers that you've already worked with. I mean, you can do the old standard real estate practices of sending out your the sports schedule for your favorite team or sending out calendars at the beginning of the year. But with most people digital, you've got to get away from those old practices and embrace new ways in order to stay connected with people. And that's where social media comes in. It really helps enhance the relationships as long as you do it right. Another quote that I always share with agents is this: no one really cares about your business. I hate to tell you this, but they really don't. What most people care about are their problems. So in order to stand out, you have to be the solution that they are looking for. You really need to be the solution provider. And that's a need in real estate because real estate is such a complicated process and you're dealing with multiple people. I mean, I know agents out there know that people that they've dealt with that have gotten so frustrated from the real estate process that they walk away. So if you can become an agent who can craft their brand and your profile to be somebody who is helping people through the real estate process, whether they're buying or selling or they're trying to maintain home or even looking to advance and become a real estate developer or someone who flips homes. You have to be that resource to people in order to get them to like you and trust you in order to do business with you. Because in the end, if people like you, they will listen to you. But if they trust you, they will do business with you. So you have to be someone who is trusted in order to develop those relationships, in order to develop develop strong relationships. So with social media, I think you get confused as far as what things to post or share on social media. So there's about 5 things that I always tell people. It doesn't matter if you're posting text, picture, or video. You've got to follow these 5 rules whenever you think about what to post on social media. Now, the sky's the limit as far as what things you can post. I mean, you can post crazy video, you can post personal video, but it has to fall within these 5 categories before you decide to post. And if you don't, then your posts are going to be wasted. So tip number 1 is does your post solve a specific problem? Whether it's video or text post or a photo, does that post solve a specific problem? And in doing so, you're helping people and you're help crafting yourself as a brand. So before you post something on social media, does it solve a specific problem? You don't want it to be a post that's going to cause chaos because that's going to push people away from you. People have chaotic enough lives. So it's important that you focus on posts that are solving problems. The next thing that you should follow is, does your post create curiosity? do people become curious about your post? I think these types of posts are, if you have a blog, a real estate blog, or maybe you're planning a virtual open house or even an open house. Um, is it going to get people curious to want to find out more? So it's good to keep your post short and sweet on social media because you want to kind of show an air of mystery when it comes to specific posts, especially blog posts. Because with a blog, you don't want to just put the whole blog in your social media post because most people have the attention span of a gnat and they're not going to read that anyway. But if you put something short and sweet, whether it be a video post like, hey, check me out, or I'm about to go live on social media, or hey, here's a portion of my blog that's going to educate you. Here's a little sample of it. And here, if you want to read more, here's where you need to go. The next thing when you're posting to social media is you want to make sure that your post elicits some sort of emotion. Um, Emotion is important, so you want to make sure that you are eliciting emotion with your post. Not necessarily making people sad because that's going to draw people away. When I'm talking about emotion, is it like thought provoking? Is it going to be a post that is going to make people happy, which or laugh? Funny posts are great, and if you can create posts that make people laugh or that are that are funny, or that even tug at the heartstrings. I think the more popular posts that get people are birthday posts, anniversary posts. It's okay to share those because again, you're trying to build relationships and you want to build a rapport with people. So if you have a child or a grandchild that has a birthday, it's okay to post that. And especially in this time of COVID-19, those birthday posts are more meaningful because most people can't get out and celebrate like they used to. Like about 3 weeks ago, my oldest son, Christian, he celebrated his 12th birthday. So it's kind of a milestone, but at the same time, wasn't really able to celebrate with anybody. So I shared that post, and of course, that post got a lot of likes and views because people understand the gravity of the situation of not being able to celebrate birthday, especially as a kid, amongst your friends. So those emotional posts, they're good because it helps build your character and lets people know that you are a caring human being because no one wants to do real estate with the real estate Grinch. Next is, does your call to action match your copy? So if you've got a call to action to do something, make sure that your video or photo matches that. So if you're telling people to watch you live or to tune in to your post or to like your page, make sure that you have a photo that matches that. One of the things I will caution you on social media is that you don't want to ask people too much to do something. So the posts that say, hey, follow me or like me, those call to action sentences you don't want to use because people in most instances aren't going to do it. Now, if you post something that's of importance, like real estate scams or some important real estate news, then you can politely ask people if you know someone who could benefit from this, do you mind sharing this post? Rather than just to share this with all your friends. Those call to actions and that copy doesn't really work. Make sure it's personable and make sure that you're giving more than asking people to do stuff. And then finally, the most important thing that you should worry about when you're posting to social media is, why should your audience care about your post? Why should they even care about it? I mean, you've got to put things that people really care about. So that listing that you have that you're posting in that Facebook group or online, you don't want to put that out there because in most instances, people really don't care, especially in this environment. It's like, man, I'm furloughed. The last thing I'm thinking about is looking for new property. I need income. So put things that people that are relevant to the time. So anything COVID-19, anything that has to do with season. People, spring is here. People are out doing spring-like things. So put those posts out there because people are going to care about those posts more so than just your post asking them to buy the homes in your inventory. So with that said, and those rules in mind, I hope you're ready to get some kick booty solutions in order to help you be a little bit more effective on social media. I know that guy's not really aiming for the butt, but of course, his foot is in the general vicinity. So that's why I put that graphic out there. So without that said, let's look at our 6 kick booty tips. So kick booty tip number 1 is to take your offline connections online. I know that there are people that uh, have connected with people off or online, or excuse me, offline. So here's the dilemma that you run into. You run into this dilemma. You have a ton of business cards, and I hate to say it, uh, that picture is not my desktop, but I hate to say it, I'm just as guilty. It's not as many as that slide shows, but there are a ton of business cards that I have that just aren't really doing anything. And so if you are sitting at home, you're furloughed, you're not able to make the same amount of real estate transactions that you were able to do before, get on these business cards and start connecting with those people that you met offline and connect with them online. One of the biggest advantages of connecting with people online is that you're connected with them forever. You have to block them to get rid of them. But what happens when you have a business card is that you have their email address, you have their physical address, but people switch careers quite a bit. And so the first thing that most people do when they switch careers is to update their social media platform. So get those business cards out and start connecting with people online. Um, it's really easy to do. Most people obviously haven't gone through a career change. So if you have some newer business cards, you can look for that person, say on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or even Instagram, and find, using their credentials, find them and connect with them. And when you reach out to those offline connections and you're trying to bring them online, make sure you are honest and say why you want to connect. One of the more, I shouldn't say offensive, but the more open ways that you want to connect with people is to send a personalized invite to let them know why you're connecting with them. You can be honest and say, hey, man, I'm sitting at home bored during this whole COVID-19 crisis, and I want to connect with you because I've had your business card sitting on my desk for like 2 years, and I thought it'd be a good time to connect. So send that personalized message. LinkedIn allows you to do that very easily. Facebook, you do have to use Facebook Messenger to send that. Some of the other social media platforms like Twitter and Instagram, you can send a connection request, but it's always a good way, if you're able to send a personalized message to let them know why you're connecting with them. Because people sometimes worry about people creeping on them on social media. So if you send a request saying, hey, I'm a professional, I want to connect with you to build up my network, that is always a good way to connect with people and get that relationship process started. One of the other things that you can do as far as your social media is to use QR codes that are available on all of the social media platforms. Now, this one, obviously, I'm not Jason, but this was a good screenshot to snag for a slide. But LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook Messenger all have QR codes that you can use to connect with people. One of the best ways I saw in a webinar that I was on this week is someone made a screenshot of their QR code and they posted it on their screen. So like Jason's got his QR code here, if you use your phone's QR code, you can definitely use your phone to scan and connect with Jason, which kind of brings me to something kind of funny that I'm going to try to do. I want to see if this QR code actually exists. So I'm going to bring up my phone and I'm going to bring it up to, oh my goodness. And it looks like, yeah, Jason is the editorial director at CNET at CBS Interactive. So if you were to take your phone and scan that QR code, it would definitely take you to Jason's contact information. And to show that I'm telling the truth, there's Jason's information. Oh, someone sent me a new connection on LinkedIn, but there's Jason's information. So you can do the same thing. Now, to kind of let you know how the QR codes work, it's pretty simple. With LinkedIn, let's go back to Jason's contact. With LinkedIn, you can go into the QR code section and you can either generate your code or you can scan a code. It uses your smartphone's camera. So once you switch to scan, someone else can put their QR code, whether it be on screen during a Zoom webinar, or they can send it to you in an email. It's just a quick way to connect with someone using a QR code. And once we get through with the social distancing, we can go through the whole process of reaching out, and you can quickly use your QR code to connect with people when you meet them face to face, rather than grabbing your smartphone and fumbling through trying to find their distinct either Twitter or Instagram name, or find the correct spelling of their name on LinkedIn. So embrace those QR codes, share them in your videos, share them in your emails, but just make sure that you can even share them on social media. Just take a screenshot of your QR code, and if someone says they want to connect with you, send them a copy of it, and it will allow them to instantly find you on social media. One of my other recommendations too is, if you get a connection, go ahead and accept it. There's nothing wrong with you as a real estate professional with accepting new connections. You want to reach out, you want to touch people, you want to put yourself in a position where you're developing relationships with as many people as you can. So if you get that odd request, connection request, go ahead and accept it. Later on, you can always block someone if they become a nuisance. But at the same time, you want to take a moment to scrutinize their profile. Make sure that they are a serious social media user. You want to look at their posts too to see how often they post. And if they're a regular user and they send you a request, go ahead and accept them. It's nothing wrong with doing that to help you expand your network and to connect with more people. Now, the second thing that I recommend as far as a kick booty tip for dominating social media is to make your social media accounts uniquely you. It is you. It has to be you telling your story on social media. So you want to make your account unique to yourself. I think the challenge with people in social media is that so often we get caught up in trying to do what's considered the right real estate post. And you don't necessarily have to focus on that. You obviously want to craft your brand as a real estate professional, but at the same time, you want to make your social media page reflect your personality. If you're an introvert, you can kind of display that on social media, and you can display that as being an extrovert too. So when you're telling, so an important thing is to tell your story. And when you craft your social media page, you want people hanging on to your every word when it comes to your social media account. So make sure that when you you are crafting your social media presence online, that it's uniquely you, and make sure that you're sharing valuable content. And again, content are those 5 things that I stressed at the beginning of this presentation. Make sure that your posts are relevant and that people are really going to care about what you are saying online. But another thing that will help you out is to make sure that you are finding your passion. What are you passionate about? I know there are a lot of agents that I talk to that obviously have different hobbies and things that they enjoy. So if you're a quilter, if you like to cook, if you like to garden, if you even if you're male or female and you like to work on cars, share it on social media. As long as you're sharing that you have this passion and different ways that your passion can help other people. That is important because you can keep that real estate professional brand, but at the same time, you want people to know what it is you love and are passionate about, and of course, share that passion with other people. Some of the other things that you can do, and this picture's horrible. I hate sharing it, but there's me, and you can't see the toy horse that I'm on, but that's me at a business event. I'm on well, not a mechanical bull, but a toy horse, but that's me at a business event having fun. If you're out and about, or if you're doing fun things around the home, be sure to share that online to help build a rapport with the people that you interact with on a daily basis. Family pictures are a good way, and obviously this family photo is not seasonal, but there's myself, my wife, and my 2 boys, Christian and Caleb, and there's Santa and Mrs. Claus. So I like this picture because obviously it turned into a great holiday photo to share via mail and online with people. But it was taken at my wife's Christmas party, and it's one of the rare photos that you can actually see Mr. and Mrs. Claus in a photo. So if you've got family photos, you definitely want to share those pictures with people to kind of get them an understanding of how your family function works. And I will say this, and I said this during a webinar this week to another social media person. You can share all that content like kids of pictures of kids and uh, relatives and grandparents and all that, and people still won't have an idea where you are. So keep that in mind. As long as you're not taking a picture of your street address or bragging about which part of Orange County you're in, you can do that. You can share those photos and just make sure that people get more of an understanding of who you are as an individual and as a real estate professional. Some other photos that you can share are pictures of people that you've helped buy or sell a home. So these are customers of ours that live up in a small town called Weston, Missouri. That's Kirk and Julie Nelson, and they own Touchwork of Weston, which is a massage therapy place. Now, in this photo, they work out of their home, and with it not zoomed in, you can actually see their street address and their business logo on their house. So this photo, which was posted on social media, was a way for me to kind of advertise their business and let people know that Kirk and Julie were happy that I was able to fix their computer issue, because obviously if they weren't happy, they wouldn't have posed for this photo. So yes, they definitely were happy. But the main purpose was to show that they were happy and to help promote their business as well. One of the other things that you can do is show pet photos. As real estate professionals, you are in and out of homes. So if you encounter a friendly, and notice I say friendly animal, make sure that you pose next to the animal with the owner's permission, and probably in a nondescript area where they can't identify anything of the house. Or you could just take a picture of the pet themselves. People love pet videos. And of course, there's a documentary on Netflix called #Cats, where people who have videos geared toward their pet are getting millions of viewers. So if you encounter pets, why not pose with the pet or take a photo of the pet? If you look at this photo again of Brutus, who I just saw about a month ago, and this picture was taken like 2 years ago, Brutus, his loving eyes are looking at me like I'm the only thing that matters in his world. So I love that photo, and of course it shows people that I like interacting with pets. So number 3, as far as kick booty tips, you want to create social media posts that stand above the crowd. I know that kind of sounds like a whole Remax thing, and obviously I'm not trying to cater towards Remax when I say that, but you want to make sure that your posts stand out from everyone else that is posting on social media. So right now, coronavirus is the big thing out there. So I think people are starting to get tired of that. I got a graphic for that. But I think right now people are, unless something new happens, you can share that, but just the same old posts that people have seen, you want to stay away from that. One of the things that I do to kind of add a new twist to some of the coronavirus things out there is to remind people that not only should they wash their hands, but they also need to make sure that they properly disinfect their smart devices too, because the COVID-19 virus can live on surfaces for up to 72 hours. So if you're out and about, like going to the store or essential businesses, you may get into the habit of putting your smartphone down on surfaces, and you don't know if those surfaces have been disinfected. So if you goof up, put your phone on the surface and then touch your hand or eyes, then you yourself can be infected with the virus. So I always counter that by just telling people, hey, make sure that you're properly disinfecting your smartphones, which means that if you, whatever solution you use to clean it and not bleach, you make sure that you let that solution sit on your smartphone for no less than 5 minutes to properly disinfect your device. Not a lot of people are saying that. So that's my twist. And that's one of the ways that you can make your post stand out on social media, because you're giving a tidbit or a fact that is helping people get more out of this situation. So think about that when you're putting your post out there. One of the other ways that you can make your post stand out is to be on various or multiple social media platforms. There's WhatsApp, which obviously is not a social media platform, or I think that's Reddit too. But yeah, once you get a handle on your main social media platforms, such as Facebook, Instagram, and probably LinkedIn, then you can branch out to other services like Twitter or even Pinterest as far as posting stuff online in order to help people get or understand your brand and to expand out, because some real estate professionals only focus on Facebook. But if you start to make it so that you're everywhere, then people will understand that, oh, wow, I see you everywhere, and you will get that. I know there have been networking groups that I have not joined because people have always said, hey, Burton, I see you all over social media. That's what you want to do when it comes to social media. You want to be that agent that is top of mind when people think about buying or selling a home. We've all seen it on social media. You're looking through the feeds, people are saying, hey, I need a great real estate agent. And you see the people that are being tagged because they're top of mind. And that's what you want when you have your social media presence. You always want to be top of mind. You want to be that agent that is always tagged. So people are like, wow, people really like this agent. That's who I want to go with when it comes to me using a real estate agent or real estate professional. One of the other ways you can make your post stand out is saying happy birthday to all of your social media connections, especially now that folks are home. Birthdays are kind of a sucky thing right now. So taking the time to say happy birthday to your connections on social media is a pretty awesome thing to do. One of the things that I would do to make your post stand out is to make sure that you include a graphic on that post. And that way you're just not typing a line of text that says happy birthday. Include a photo of a cake or a cupcake, or if you're are graphically designer oriented, you could also create your own custom graphics in Canva, which is canva.com. It's a word or a desktop publishing website that is free and has tons of free art that you can use to make your own custom images. So why not stand out from the crowd by telling your social media connections that you want to wish them a happy birthday. Currently, right now, the only ones that you can easily wish happy birthday from are Facebook and from LinkedIn. So take advantage of those tools and use it. One of the other things you can do to make your post stand out is to post something funny and somewhat controversial. I know the TP posts have kind of gone by the wayside, but you could, even in this day of toilet paper hoarding, you can post things like which is the correct way to hang that toilet paper that you're hoarding. So people always get into the debate of, should it be hanging from the back? Should it be hanging from the front? So that's a good way to get the discussion going as far as getting people involved on your social media channel. Now, another thing that you can do to get people involved is to share some serious information, but make sure you include a funny graphic. So one of the best ones that I like to share is someone figured out my password, so now I have to rename my dog. So obviously passwords, people gravitate and use things that are near to dear to them as far as passwords. So as far as real estate is concerned, if you wanted to tell people not to avoid a money pit, maybe you can actually have a broken down house and say, hey, make sure before you buy a home, you have it properly inspected. It's a funny photo, but at the same time, it's a serious reminder that lets people understand the things that they need to do when it comes to real estate transactions. Another one is if you decide to sell your home or to check the value of your home, maybe you could have a couple standing in front of a ratty house saying, hey, make sure you work with an agent because you can overestimate the value of your home. Other things too that you could remind people, if you have a front door that is the paint's peeling, or a picture of a house where there's weeds growing everywhere, you could talk about the value of making sure that your house has home appeal or curb appeal, or make sure that you get all of your serious tasks taken care of before you list your home. Serious information, but post a funny photo. That way it'll stand out and it'll help be memorable to people. Some of the other things you can do to kind of stand out, post products that that people can use to enhance their lives. Although they're sold out of this item right now, but phone soap, which is this device that you see on this slide here, is a device that will disinfect your smartphone. Obviously, we don't sell phone soap, but you can get it at phonesoap.com. But phone soap uses UV rays to zap the germs off your phone, and it'll charge it at the same time. So if you come across awesome inventions like that, you want to make sure that you want to make sure that you're sharing home ideas or home inventions that are going to enhance people's lives, because with real estate it involves around the home. So anything that you see that could enhance someone's life, definitely share it. One of the things that I would share that I actually own would be one of those auto mowers. If you know of somebody who has one, go videotape the auto mower running through the lawn, because it's a great invention that can allow people to get back their day-to-day lifestyle and not have to worry about their lawn. So think about any cool invention that you know that will enhance someone's life and share it. Again, it kind of shows your expertise and you're enhancing people's lives. One of the more entertaining sites that you can go to that you can make posts about is the National Day Calendar. So National Day Calendar is a website that touts that every day is a holiday. And in this day and age, it is the truth. So I always do a bad habit of this when I do presentations. So I have no clue what today is National Day of. So I'm gonna type in National Day Calendar real quick, and let's see what today is National Day of. And of course, let's click on today. And if someone knows what today is National Day of, shout it out or type it in a text, because it's not coming up for me. Oh, I know. So today is, let's see, it's got a link to play National Day. Oh, this is awesome. So today, and let's see if I can share this. This is National Cherry Cheesecake Day. It's also National Dog Awareness Day. See if I can share the screen if it'll pop up. Looks like it did. So here's all the national days today. And you can always take advantages of this, except for National Take Our Daughters and Sons to Work Day, unless you are doing a live stream or a video stream, and then you can have your kids pop in to your live stream and act like they're working for you, or you can do the work from home post to say, my coworkers are doing this. But National Day definitely gives you awesome content that you can use to post on social media. So that way you're kind of building those relationships and enhancing your post. Another site that you can take care of, especially with this whole COVID-19, is Nextdoor. Now, Nextdoor, if you don't know what Nextdoor is actually a social media app, except it only deals with your immediate neighborhood. Nextdoor, if you haven't signed up for it, I would highly recommend that you sign up for Nextdoor. It's free. Now, one of the limitations with Nextdoor is that you will only focus on the neighborhoods that are probably in a 3 to 5 mile radius from your house. But at the same time, it allows you to get personalized and connect with the neighbors around you. You can read posts on Nextdoor. You can also create your own post. You can do neighborhood alerts. You can just do general stuff. But as a real estate professional, you don't want to get on Nextdoor and just say, hey, I'm the best real estate agent. You want to create it like your other social media platforms, where you're just sharing valuable content that's going to help people maintain their home and things that they should be aware of. So you might want to create a post that says, hey, I know you're sitting at home during this whole COVID-19 crisis. You might want to take the time to clean out your gutters, or better yet, install gutter guards on your home so you don't have to worry about that. It's springtime, time for spring cleaning. You may think people have thought about this stuff, but in reality, they probably haven't. So why not be that reminder? Why not be that resource to let people know that these are the things they need to do in order to maintain their investment? One of the other things that you can do is to make sure that you are tagging people in post. Nothing wrong with tagging someone. Don't necessarily have to tag Mike Alton, but you want to tag people to let them know that you've read their post. Part of social media means that you do have to interact with posts that you see, but what better way than to let people know that you're paying attention to their content than to tag them in a post. One of the no-nos with tagging is, if you've got an event, online or offline, do not go and tag a ton of people so that they know about your event. your tag should be more like a hug. I'm thinking of you. So you just want to maybe tag one or two people to let them know, hey, I saw your post and I'm thinking of you. So utilize tagging, and it's basically done by using the @ sign, like it shows with Mike Alton. Let me get back to that slide. So the @ sign, and then start to type the person's name, and like the graphic shows here, it will pull up their social media handle, and then you can tag them in a post. But tagging is great. One of the best ways that I've grown my Instagram account, because it was lacking there for a little bit, but at least 500 people, was by tagging people. And one of the best ways to tag people in this COVID-19 crisis is to tag someone in their post and say, hey, how are you doing? And I've grown my Instagram by 500 people this month by just tagging people and going through accounts and just asking people, how are you doing? I can't really grow Facebook that much because on my personal Facebook, I'm maxed out at 5,000 connections. So I can't go, like James Brown would say, I can't go no mo. I cannot get any more connections on social media with Facebook, but I can with my public figure page. So that has increased as well with me tagging people and letting them know that I'm thinking of them. Remember, it's the relationship aspect of social media that you need to be concentrated on. So do it and focus on that. You can also share valuable information. So if there's a news alert that you see, share it with people. One of the things that we do at Integral, whenever there's a hacker alert, we will always post a message and share it out to different people to let them know that they need to be aware that there's been a data breach or some scam that has gone on. Hashtags are important on social media, so make sure that you're utilizing hashtags when you are posting on social media. On Instagram, you can do up to 30 hashtags. On your other social media platforms, you want to limit it to 5 hashtags per post. But if you don't know what a hashtag is an identifier to let you know what the subject of that post is about. So if you're doing real estate, you probably would want to tag all of your post with the hashtag of real estate, and probably include Orange County on that, so that people who are following the Orange County hashtag, which trust me there is, that when they're looking through their hashtags that they subscribe to, that your post will come up with, and it helps make your post go a lot further. Questions, again, I always say, I ask questions. It gets people involved and interactive. So always make sure that you're asking questions on social media to get people engaged in the content. Now, this says Facebook groups, but this can relate to Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups. If you aren't a member of a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group, join it, because that will allow your post to go further. I know when you post within Facebook groups, at least, it tricks the Facebook algorithm as to thinking that more people want to see your post. So if you're sharing content in multiple Facebook groups, then your post could potentially be seen by 10, 20,000 people. So if you have relevant content to share, don't only share it on your wall. Make sure that you join a Facebook group and share those posts in there as well. Make sure they're informative. If you have a house for sale, you might want to ask the administrator of that group if you can post that before you post it. But anything that's usually informative to the community, you can share to a group. So number 4, and we're kind of taking advantage of this right now, is to take advantage of live video and just video in general. I hope everyone realizes this at this point, but your live video will go 5 times out up to more people than just a standard post will go, because your social media platforms are always pushing out your live videos when you go live to all of your connections to let them know that you've actually gone live. And as you can see here, there are multiple social media platforms that will allow you to go live. So the only one that you really can't go live to off the bat would be YouTube, which from your smartphone, you have to have at least I think 1,000 subscribers. And on LinkedIn Live, you have to sign up for LinkedIn Live. But even if you can't go live from your smartphone or computer from those platforms, you really want to take advantage of going with live video, because live video definitely will help build your relationships. And now's the time to go live because, again, people are practicing social distancing. So go live. As far as the types of things that you can do with live video, the sky's the limit. Whatever you're passionate about, do it on a live video. If you just want to talk about your day-to-day life as far as being socially isolated with COVID-19, do a daily blog or weekly blog, video blog that lets people know how you're doing. And of course, ask them how they're doing. You can do kind of a behind the scenes, like maybe show what's going on in your home or your home office to kind of let people know how you're working. You can also do, and I know there's a lot of real estate agents that I deal with that actually do the live talk show where they get an influencer to come on and talk about their business and how they help people online. It's a good way to help promote small businesses, especially in this time of COVID-19. If you know restaurants or other non-essential businesses that aren't doing anything, get them on and have a show with them, because you can showcase yourself and you can showcase that business as well, as far as helping keep their brand name out there. You want to take the reins and you want to be the influencer and help people out. And trust me, when it comes to your live video, make sure that you are spreading the word. You're shouting out that you're a real estate professional, and you make sure that you repurpose that live video. So Facebook Live, when you go live, you always have the option to save that video to your smartphone. Do it, because if you start to go to Facebook Live and you start saving those live videos, you can then upload those videos to other social media platforms like LinkedIn and YouTube. And if you get enough videos on your YouTube, oh my gosh, you got a YouTube channel. So repurpose those live videos and make sure that your content is getting shared out over multiple social media platforms. So take advantage of live video. Even if you don't do live video, do video, because it helps build that cohesiveness as far as developing relationships with your potential buyers and sellers, and with buyers and sellers that you've worked with in the past. My fifth tip is to make sure that you keep your branding consistent across all of your social media channels. And your brand is pretty darn important. Branding is not obviously the branding iron, but your brand essentially boils down to who you are, what you do, and how you help people. That is your brand. So if you have a brand, if you want to consider a brand, you got to make sure that your brand is consistent, because once people connect with you on one social media platform, trust me, they're going to look for you on other platforms to find out, to connect with you, to find out what type of content you're sharing. So to kind of enhance your brand on social media, you have to work with the graphics that you have displayed on your real estate page. So for my technology business, I've got my brand as the tech expert. So my banner on Facebook and across all of the other social media platforms, there's LinkedIn and there's Twitter and there is Instagram. But the thing that is consistent with the brand is the banner, which is listed at the top of the page. And then of course, a professional photo. So as real estate professionals, obviously you've got your headshot. So make sure that you're using the same headshot that you use on your business cards on your social media platform, so that people can find you easier. And make sure it's across all of them. Don't have like a different photo on Twitter that you would on Facebook or Instagram. Make sure that your photo is consistent and that your banner is consistent on all of your social media platforms, so that people can easily find you. And you want to make sure that you follow the rules of your association in your state, so that you're not breaking any rules. But make sure that whatever you put, that it lists how you're helping people out on your brand. One of the things that I've done on LinkedIn as far as the brand is concerned, let me pull up my LinkedIn page, and because I've got LinkedIn on here, and let me show you the old one. So let me share that screen. So yeah, there it is. It's got, kind of old, boring stuff, chief expert at Integral, et cetera, et cetera. What you want is you want your brand to be you want it to say a little pizzazz, and you can update your subscription or description, not subscription, your description on all of your social media platforms. So with my current LinkedIn page up there, let me pull that up and we'll share that screen. Uh, let's see if we can get this. Yep. So as you can see on this, there it's more of a narrative, sentence narrative. I love technology. I've read all the manuals, and I'm serious about making technology fun and easy to use for everyone. So with that said, you want your narrative to read like that, and you can do that on all of the social media platforms. You want that narrative out there, so it spells out in everyday language how you're helping people out. That's how you want to enhance your brand on some social media, to get across that this is who I am as a real estate professional, and this is what how I can help you out. So make sure that you keep your branding consistent on all of the social media channels that you utilize. Even if you get into TikTok, make sure you're using that same real estate headshot, so that your brand is consistent and people can know that you are who you are. And final kick booty tip is, you don't want social media to consume you. Now, obviously, it's not going to consume you because you have some spare time on your hand. And I don't know why I messed that slide up. Let's get back to our slide there. There we go. Don't let social media consume you. Social media, especially if you have multiple platforms, can take up a lot of your time. It can be overwhelming, and it's almost like a second or third job having to maintain a social media account. Now, one of the tempting things that agents will do is to um, put that social media off on someone else. Now, if you're part of a brokerage, that's not a big issue. You want it to be shown as a team effort. So maybe you do have the social media guru in the office who's handling all of the social media posting. But if it's just you as your own agent, it's always a good idea to make sure that you are uh, posting your own information, because again, it's your story, and you have to make sure that you're the one that's telling the narrative, because who better than you to tell your own story on social media? But yes, it is overwhelming. So, but there are some ways that you can make sure that social media is not taking advantage of you. Now, for one of these, I don't even have a slide for, but one thing I would recommend people to do as far as social media is concerned is to make sure that they're constantly building up content. So if you're at home, if you're taking walks in this period of social distancing, or any activity that you're doing out and about or home, take a photo of it. And you don't necessarily have to post it that day, but it gives you material that you can post at a later date. So always get into the mindset that you need to be thinking of content, and that would be photos and videos that you can post on social media that are going to either educate or inform people, or just even entertain people. So always have your smartphone with you, which obviously if you're an agent or a professional, you've got your smartphone with you. So why not use that smartphone to take video and to take photos, so that you can build up a catalog of photos and videos that you can share at a later date. I know currently on my iPhone, I've got, I think, about a couple of thousand photos. And obviously these are photos that I've had since I've had an iPhone. So don't think that, over the course of a month that I've gone out and taken 2,000 photos. I haven't. What I've done is I've kept old photos and of course new photos, and then I can choose to share those on social media whenever I want to. So always keep a catalog of photos and videos, so that when you struggle with coming up with content to post online, you can always have something at your disposal that you could post that's going to entertain and educate people. One of the other tools that you can use is to schedule your social media posts. Now you can use Hootsuite, which is a social media scheduling tool and manager. Hootsuite will allow you to manage 3 social media accounts, so that you can go through and schedule your posts to go out in advance. That way you're not sitting on your device or your computer all the time trying to scour social media. Another social media scheduler and dashboard is Buffer. Works the same as Hootsuite. You get 3 social media channels that you can work with, and you can schedule those posts to go out up to a year or a couple of years. So those mundane posts like the happy, I can't even think what holidays coming up. Let's say Easter has passed, St. Patty's Day has passed. You've got Memorial Day, Labor Day, those mundane posts that you want to have go out just to let people know that you're still around. You can schedule those with like Hootsuite and Buffer. There's also Sprout Social that will not only allow you to schedule posts, Sprout Social will help you come up with the types of posts that you would want to create for your social media platforms. One other thing that you can do, what Facebook has made it a little bit harder, is that you can schedule your post if you have a Facebook business page to go out at a assigned time. Now, with the Facebook scheduler, which is associated with business accounts, you can only schedule those posts up to 3 months in advance. Now, I know for a lot of you, you're like, man, that's plenty of time. But at the same time, there are some of us that would like to schedule some of those to go out a year in advance, especially when it comes to those holiday posts, so that we're not scrambling to get those posts out. Now, the next tool that you can use is for if you're doing Restream with live video. You can use StreamYard or OBS Studio to stream to multiple social media services at the same time. Now with Restream and SoundYard, I think you can start with a few free accounts, and then after that, they charge you a hefty fee to live stream to multiple platforms. And with both of those, I think you can only do it from your desktop computer, not necessarily from an app. But streaming to multiple social media platforms is a great way to reach more people, especially when you get into the habit of doing live stream, because it's kind of a challenge if you want to live stream on one social media channel. If you want to do multiple, for the most part, you would have to do it simultaneously from multiple devices. But if you use SoundYard or StreamYard or Restream.io, it allows you to stream simultaneously to multiple platforms and to get a reach of more people. So to sum things up, as far as social media is concerned, I always tell people never really focus on the number of likes and interactions on your page. And sometimes you might want to even ignore some of the analytics that occur. You want to focus on your tribe of people that interact with your posts. Sure, the analytics are going to be good as far as the times to post on social media. But again, even though your posts are reaching a wide variety of people, just because people are seeing your posts doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get the warm and fuzzies about you and want to work with you as a real estate professional. So always focus on doing you and be you and do what you do, and make sure that you focus on building those relationships, and the rest will come out. I know there have been instances where I've thought, either with a blog post or with the social media post, like, man, that post really sucked. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, a local news station will contact and say, hey, we saw that post you did about this subject. Or an influencer on another social media channel saying, hey, we want to include you in a group of influencers on social media. So we're going to need your headshot so that we could promote you and your business more. So just do what you do and make sure that you're putting relevant content out there. Be authentic you, and make sure that you're putting content that is going to engage people and let them know you, like you, and trust you. So with that said, I'm going to share my social media contact information. Again, I'm Burton Kelso. I'm the technology expert. As it says, I love technology. I've read all the manuals, and I'm serious about making technology fun and exciting for you. So you can find me at Burton Kelso on any of the social media platforms out there. Doesn't matter if it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, even TikTok. So I'm out there and I'm all on social media. So with that said, I'm going to